It was a day that should have been filled with the innocent anticipation of a school dance. A day when the Florida sun, despite the February chill, promised a return to warmth. But for the small, tight-knit community of Lake City, February 9, 1978, would forever be etched in memory as the day the light went out. 12-year-old Kimberly Diane Leach, a 7th grader with a bright smile and a future full of promise, vanished from the grounds of her junior high school in broad daylight. This wasn't a runaway, or a simple case of a child getting lost. This was the work of a predator, a ghost who had been stalking the nation, and who, in the quiet corridors of a Florida school, would claim his final, tragic victim. Before we continue with this chilling story, please take a moment to comment, like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss future episodes of the Calendar of Crime. Your support helps us continue to bring these important stories to light. Lake City Junior High School was a hub of activity that Thursday afternoon. Students were buzzing with excitement, preparing for a Valentine's Day dance. Kimberly, like many of her friends, was focused on the upcoming event. She had been in class, but realized she had left her purse behind in another classroom. A simple, everyday mistake that would lead to an unimaginable horror. She was seen walking back to retrieve it, a brief, solitary journey that took her past the school's perimeter. It was there, in the seemingly safe environment of a school day, that she encountered him. Eyewitness accounts, often the most crucial and most frustrating pieces of a puzzle, began to surface almost immediately. Several students and a teacher reported seeing a man leading a young girl, who matched Kimberly's description, toward a white van. The man was described as having dark hair and a cast on his arm, a detail that would later prove chillingly significant. The man's calm, authoritative demeanor likely disarmed any suspicion. In the chaos of a school day, it was easy to assume he was a teacher, a parent, or a school official. The white van, a nondescript vehicle, simply melted into the traffic, taking Kimberly with it. When Kimberly didn't return home, the alarm was raised. Lake City, a place where everyone knew everyone, was instantly gripped by fear. The initial search was frantic, a desperate, localized effort that quickly escalated into a massive statewide hunt. Authorities immediately suspected foul play, and the description of the man with the cast and the white van was broadcast far and wide. The case quickly drew the attention of investigators already tracking a string of brutal attacks and disappearances across Florida, including the recent Chi Omega murders in Tallahassee. The pieces of a terrifying pattern were beginning to align. The man with the cast was Ted Bundy. Just weeks earlier, he had escaped from custody in Colorado and made his way to Florida, where he continued his reign of terror. The Chi Omega attacks and the assault on a student named Cheryl Thomas had already put law enforcement on high alert. Bundy was eventually apprehended in Pensacola, Florida, on February 15, 1978, 6 days after Kimberly's disappearance. However, he refused to cooperate, and the fate of Kimberly Leach remained a terrifying mystery. The search continued, fueled by the hope that she might still be alive. The search for Kimberly lasted nearly 2 months. Every swamp, every wooded area, every abandoned building in the region was scoured. Finally, on April 7, 1978, a pair of fishermen made a grim discovery in a remote area of Suwannee River State Park, approximately 35 miles west of Lake City. Hidden in an old, dilapidated shed, they found the remains of Kimberly Leach. The discovery brought a devastating finality to the community's hopes. Forensic evidence, including fiber analysis that linked the scene to Bundy's car and clothing, confirmed the worst. The murder of Kimberly Leach became the final damning charge against Ted Bundy. The trial, held in Orlando, Florida, in 1980, was a media circus. Bundy, who often acted as his own attorney, attempted to charm and manipulate the court, but the evidence was overwhelming. The testimony of the eyewitnesses from the school, the fiber evidence, and the sheer brutality of the crime sealed his fate. He was convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to death. Kimberly Leach's case was the one that ultimately ensured the notorious killer would face justice. Kimberly Leach was just 12 years old. Her life was tragically cut short by a monster who preyed on the innocent. Her memory, however, lives on. Her case, and the tireless efforts of her family and the community, helped to change the way missing children cases are handled. It serves as a reminder of the evil that can lurk in the most unexpected places and the importance of vigilance. Kimberly Leach remains Ted Bundy's last known victim, a final heartbreaking chapter in the life of one of America's most infamous serial killers. Thanks for watching. Please comment, share, like, and subscribe for future episodes from the Calendar of Crime.